Undisputed. It's been a while, but I'm back. Undisputed, I'm back, baby, and I'm not going nowhere. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. And I'm back because I seen a great update that I'm gonna do a video on. But today, despite this update, there still is something that needs to be addressed, and that's the punches. Today, we will be doing another portion of our punches series. So the things that are really standing out to me right now, because I'm seeing the game improving, right? I'm like, damn, the game is getting better. The game is improving. But what's holding the game back from really just looking and feeling like it should, man? I'm not talking about no vulnerability and these legacy problems. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about gameplay mechanics. What can we do with our characters when we want to do it to simulate boxing? That's always been my thing. How do we simulate boxing better? I've had 2 videos about punches already, but this one I'm starting to see now because we knew Undisputed was real big on their footwork. Bro, the stepping straight, for example, is just too long, it's too slow, and the fighter is too upright. This is not at all how you cover ground and throw it straight. In this game, if you try to throw this punch, you will get tagged maybe twice before your punch even gets to the person. The thing that kind of annoys me about it is that we have a better straight animation in the game, a better stepping straight animation. And that animation is done by Terry Harper. Her straight is a lot more to the point, as I would say. Her stance is wider, so it looks better. You're shooting straighter, and it just looks like a more effective punch. There's no wind up to it, and you're firing it looking like you're using your legs. I mean, personally, obviously she might not have the best stats, but just form wise, the punch looks better. And when you use Terry Harper, when you do the stepping straight, it looks good, it feels good, it feels like it's supposed to, man. Like, if we ain't gonna have all these fighters mocap with their own specific punches, at least make the standard or base punches something that's solid. But as of now, we don't always have that. The next punch I want to discuss right now, I guess it'd be 2, but it's really the same. The stepping hooks. Oh man, the stepping hooks right now, they just take too long to get there. Covering ground while throwing your hook, honestly, should not take that long. Usually when you're out of range of a hook, you're not even necessarily just stepping. You're more so taking a small hop to cover that distance, to cover that ground. A la Mike Tyson, a la like a Tank Davis. Obviously, we ain't got to be that athletic in the game. And obviously, Joe Frazier with his huge gazelle punch. We don't have to do that for every fighter. But we should be able to cover a little ground with a small hop to throw our hooks, right? As you see, these are the hooks that are in the game. The stepping hooks, man. These stepping hooks just are not giving what they're supposed to give. If you took some time to box, do some even basic training, it ain't supposed to be like this. Because in game, if you try to throw this, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna probably hit you 2-3 times before you get there with one punch. It leaves you way too open, your chin's up, you're standing straight up, and you're trying to cover it. That's just not how it's done. But again, we can go to Terry Harper. Terry Harper, I know, the GOAT of punches and Undisputed, has the actual leaping punches for the hooks that we want. Look at these, man. These are beautiful. These look proper. Even when you throw combinations, it just feels better. If you're out of range, you cover that distance with a small hop and your punch feels like it has some pop behind it, man. That's what everybody complained about with Undisputed. The punches don't have pop. Well, when you're trying to make every punch reach in the outer range, it doesn't feel right. Some punches require certain things, bro. Use your legs. Hop a little bit. Crouch down. You know? Like I said, give us the Terry Harper little jump hooks, man. Make that the base for everybody until we get the custom punches for each fighter. Next, the power hook should just be removed from the game. By the time you load up to throw a power hook, you're probably rocked or have been hit 4 or 5 times. Ain't no way in hell no throwing no hook that's hard takes that long, family. Take the power hooks out the game if they're gonna be this slow. Why have them? In my previous video, part 2, I discussed many of the power shots simply being too long. Since then, the straight has been sped up, the power jab was always pretty good, and some of the power body shots, especially the hooks, were always okay. But man, these power hooks, it's a reason nobody throws them. They're too slow. We have hook masters like Roy Jones, Captain Hook, with slow power hooks, but his normal hook is lightning fast. And the punches he used to knock people out were not slower than his normal hooks he would throw. You probably didn't know the difference between a power hook he threw and a normal hook. All a power hook is, it takes a little longer to come back to center, a tad bit more wind up, but it should not take 3 seconds longer to load up a power hook. It's just not realistic, especially in a video game. To their credit, and I hate to say it, Fight Night Champion did the speed variation between normal punches and the power punches very good. A tad bit slower wind up, but you didn't feel like it was slow. You still felt it was coming out fast and hard and swift. But see, once you threw it and you bring your punch back, that's when it took a little bit longer. It's all supposed to be damn near the same speed coming out, but it's a slightly lower speed coming back. That's what we need. Because at this point, nobody is using these punches. I don't even use them. I don't want to use them because it leaves me too open. I'm over here combo. Bro, no family. We can't have that. They gotta be fixed. They gotta be sped up. They gotta be done. And on a previous note, let me say this. Again, I don't bring this game up to compare it or to say it's better. But Fight Night Champion, when we gauge how they covered ground with punches out of range, they did the small hops as it's supposed to be done. So this is something I'm saying that should be an Undisputed, because I've seen it done in the game and I know that they can do it because they've already done it. Let's just put this on every fighter so they can do it properly. The uppercut is just it has way too much range. You're not throwing an uppercut at jab distances. We're standing too straight up. Use your knees, bend your legs a little bit, and get some torque up under that punch. Right? If you want to take a small little, a little step with it, I get it, but to just standing straight up and just reaching your arm out, that defeats you have no power at that point. You're throwing an arm punch. An arm uppercuts are full body movements. Bending your hips, torquing yourself, putting your weight and your mass up under that punch, man, putting some force behind it. You're not just throwing it with your body. This is not a bicep curl. You're not doing this to throw no uppercut. It's form to it. It has to get better than that. We have to. Now, this is something I've already spoken on again, part 2, but I want to reiterate it because it hadn't been fixed. Undisputed has a big problem with not allowing us, the players, to throw punches contextually from wherever we are within our lean or our weave. What do I mean by that? What I mean is when we weave to the right, we then have to return to the center to throw a punch. Instead, if I slip, usually I can throw a punch literally like at the same time I do the slip. So I can slip and punch with my head off center line. Undisputed, you have to slip, come back, and then punch. You can't boom. You can't boom. You know, you can't get lower, like you can't do these type of things. I love the diagonal slip that they added to the game. Wish it was mapped a little different personally, but I do like it. But now if we want to get even slicker and get even better head movement and get even harder to hit, you got to be able to throw punches while leaning and slipping. And I'm talking about whether you're up here, when you're down here, when you're here, you're here, you're here. Like, you should be able to do these things. And I know, I'm gonna say it, we could do it in the other game. So I know Steel City can make it happen in this game. Guys, I think this is my thing right now. We don't need weaving and slipping to be separate. You spend any time doing any type of training, the first defense you learn outside of your basic blocks is slip, slip, roll. Slipping and rolling are the first defensive drills you learn when you learn in boxing. So to separate these things doesn't make sense to me, because when you slip, you can control it. Some teachers coach slip, slip, roll. Some teach slip, slip lower, and then roll. So if they throw a jab at you, you slip it, then they come with that right, you just get lower in your slip and that whizzes by you. Or you slip the jab, they throw a hook, the right hook, you get real low like Floyd would do. The hook goes over you and then you can roll up under it. Or you can come right back up after the hook is done. It just gives you more options to play defense, right? So we have to be able to just have our slips and our roll together, not just to punch off our slips, but because we should actually be able to do better defense. I know it's about the punches, but it all works in tandem. If we get a better slip system that's incorporated with the weave where we can control our slips and not those little herky-jerky. No, those are not slips. The slips is on the slip stick. But we need that integrated into the full 360 spectrum of movement that we have with our weave. So if I want to slip and stay there and just adjust a little bit, go up and down, actually with a real slip, not the little leans we have when we do our weave, but actual slips properly, that would change the game. And then we could punch off of it. It all works in tandem, guys. But yeah, honestly, those are the biggest things with me with the punches right now. I have to say salute to Steel City for giving us some amazing body punches. I've seen that some punches do come out faster if you work with them in tandem, as in if you do like a body jab and a power body hook, it comes out smooth, quick, fast. I love it. You know, a body jab, obviously, even with the power uppercut, it comes out smooth because you're already down there. It just works better. So I do appreciate the little nuances that they did do, but these things have to be addressed. And of course, how could I forget the most OP, overused tactic in Undisputed? The back step straight. Undisputed called themselves trying to put an end to back step straights by giving a little more arm fatigue. But that arm fatigue kicks in after you probably did 3 or 4 of them. And at that point, you've already abused the mechanic. Backstep straight is not even a realistic punch, as it is instituted and undisputed. But guess what? If we go back to our GOAT of punches, Terry Harper, she has a much better backstep straight animation, a much more realistic one that actually seems defensive in nature. She's actually backing up. The punch doesn't have a bunch of power like the default backstep straight that almost feels like a power shot when you hit people. I've rocked so many people with the backstep straight, even though I try not to throw it. You can accidentally throw it and rock somebody. But when you have this backstep straight that she's throwing, it's actually defensive. You're actually going backwards too. So even if you throw it one time and you try to throw it right again, you'll be so far back you won't be able to land the second time. Some people can backstep straight 3 times in a row and hit you in the same exact spot, even though it's supposed to be a punch going backwards. The backstepping jab, you jab and you're going back. The backstep straight, you're literally hitting them in the same spot, hitting them in the same spot, hitting them in the same spot without actually going backwards. And it's super fast, the fastest punch in the game. But Terry Harper's is actually a backstep straight where you're doing it defensively to keep range. It's not a power shot. And I also put the clip of Prince Hassim's son, Prince Nashim, his son. He does the backstep straight that Terry Harper has, but obviously it's faster and it would be as a man would be. And it looks amazing. That's how it's supposed to be, man. Steel City. I gave the examples because you already got the right punches in the game. Take your time, go through, make the general skill set and the general set of punches for these fighters better. Go and fix your slip system so we can get our slips onto the left trigger with the weave so we can control it all, and make it contextual so we can slip and punch wherever we are in our weave. That would change the game. So y'all, that's my punches part 3 video. I pray y'all loved it. I pray y'all liked it. Like I said, it's my closer look. We did a closer look on punches, did a closer look on the defense. This is part 3 of the closer look series. Another one on punches. I appreciate y'all so much. Much more content coming soon. Hey y'all, it's just the beginning. I've been away for a bit, but your boy Woke is home. Appreciate y'all. Shalom. Salute. And congrats to my boy Shep for joining Steel City Interactive. He gonna make it great. I believe in you, brother. Couldn't happen to a better person. Salute.